Well, howdy, folks, and welcome to the bunker. This is Buckner, and from the bunker, and I'm completely freaked out. And I know what you're thinking. Buck, we know why you're freaked out. You're freaked out by the silence, and not at all. I'm freaked out about the water. And specifically, that's what I'm here to talk about today. So it's kind of a special edition of the bunker with Buckner, and I know what you're thinking. Buck, what do you know about the water? Well, apparently quite a bit, because why else would they invite me here from Go Hydrology to talk about the water? In fact, when their people got in touch with my people, they said, what would be your take on the water? And I said, whoa, Buck's take? Buck has so many takes. I mean, when it comes to the water, there's drinking water. I told them there's water. I mean, the list goes on. There's just so many types of water for me to talk about. And, think about it, folks. And I didn't tell this to them at the time. I just, kind of showed them my reach. My social media reach was pretty expansive. And they were pretty impressed. And I think they wanted to, I'm doing them a favor by being on Go Hydrology, and I want to, thank you to them, for reaching out to me, and I'm more than happy to help out when it comes to the water. That's why I'm here, and I know what you're thinking about me normally being freaked out about the silence, and when you think about it, water is often silent, although it may be quiet. I think quiet is a better word that describes the water, especially during the daylight hours. And then you might be out at night and there's kind of a silence, and that's when it kind of gets spooky, when you're out at the water at night. Because you don't know, but that's what I really wanted to talk about. I'm not freaked out about the silence. I'm freaked out about the water. And specifically, I'm thinking, and I didn't mention this before to the producers that I was going to talk about this, but it's really just streaming into my mind right now about Bigfoot. Think about it. What's the one thing that Bigfoot needs to survive? And it's probably water. And Bigfoot, it's a known, just very known, drinks his water straight from the stream. And when I say he, I mean, the he or she that Bigfoot, might, you can't tell. Only the experts can tell what type of Bigfoot. It's like the water. Take, for example, the water, you'll see a cup of water and it looks clean, and it probably is if it's clear. And then if it's muddy or dark, that means it's probably not as clean, and that's fairly obvious, I think. But Bigfoot will drink straight from the stream, and that's why you might find a Bigfoot if you're out in the woods. I encourage everyone to go out in the woods if for no other reason to see your first Bigfoot. And I know you're thinking, Buck, what are my chances of seeing a Bigfoot? And I would say, yeah, probably not a lot. And the reason is you're carrying around a cell phone. In the same way that, certain animals are distracted by different activities. A Bigfoot is very finely tuned to the radio waves being emitted by a cell phone. That's why most of your Bigfoot sightings took place in the 70s, before, when people had regular film cameras. And I think that's obvious, and I think that's very obvious. And so if you're going to go out and looking for Bigfoot, you're going to have to take a film camera, and you're going to have to leave your cell phone at home. And even then, you're unlikely to see a Bigfoot. And, I actually, breaking news, I saw a Bigfoot, and I followed all the rules. I had I didn't have my cell phone with me. I don't own a cell phone, for one, so that helped. And I had my film camera with me, and I had just taken a photograph, the 24th photograph, with of a bunny. There was a bunny, and I kind of snuck up on it. I can be very quiet. I'm a big man, but I can be very quiet. I snuck up on it, and I took a picture, and then I turned around, and there was a Bigfoot just staring at me. And I tried to take a picture, but by the time I, took out the film and put the film back in, and then, rolled it back up, the Bigfoot was gone, and the one thing I regret is I went through all that, process, because I should have been concentrating more on the Bigfoot and communicating with Bigfoot, because I have theories about Bigfoot, how to communicate with one, and one of my greatest goals in life is to sit down and interview a Bigfoot. I mean, how fascinating would that be? To just sit down and hear the stories, story after story from a Bigfoot, and I would give him a glass of water, a very clean glass of water, and I might even, knowing that the Bigfoot drinks straight from the stream, I might even scoop that glass of water from the stream, and he would appreciate that so much, and that would be a fascinating interview, and, so there you have it, folks. I think we discussed a great deal about the water, and I'm just so glad you're here. And, I think we should explore this topic more, because there's the water that the Bigfoot drinks straight from the river, and that's the type of water, and they're just special spots that the Bigfoot goes, and we need to preserve those spots. Even if you don't see a Bigfoot, you want to be able to know that a Bigfoot could possibly go there and get a drink of water, straight from the stream. Not that we should drink straight from the stream. You see, a Bigfoot has, some people say that Bigfoot has 2 or 3 stomachs, or, not a strong appetite. I don't think that's the correct way to say it, but a strong digestive system, and you wonder what a Bigfoot eats. And I think it's a lot of foraging and, the list goes on. And that would be fascinating. That's why I want to have an interview with Bigfoot. And that's why we want to preserve these places in the woods, so where the water's clean, that if there is a Bigfoot, the Bigfoot can live a healthy life. And that's vital. That's so vital. And there you have it. So, thanks so much for tuning in to In the Bunker with Buckner. I think we discussed a great deal. And next time we'll explore it more, and there's a lot of wrinkles I didn't go into. A lot of shop talk. I could have gone into a lot of shop talk, but I avoided that because I know I'm talking to a general audience, and I didn't want to overwhelm anyone in the audience with any shop talk right out of the gate, because that would have got people, turning to a different topic or a channel. There's a lot of choices out there, so for anybody out there still listening to old Buckner, I can't thank you enough. So, thanks so much for tuning in to In the Bunker with Buckner, and yeah, I'm completely freaked out, but it's not because of the silence, it's because of, we need to protect the water, and that kind of freaks me out, thinking that, what can we do better to protect the water? And, how are we ever gonna, there you have it, folks. So thanks so much for tuning in, and we're gonna go to a campfire break, and we'll talk to you real soon.